And I can't go down anymore. But you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't gonna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he need to enjoy his fight.
Okay,
He deserve it. He deserve it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything. But I think is the type of fight Terence Crawford is fighter is different. 168, but like I say, like he say, nobody's gonna give me credit for that.
The buzz about a potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is taking the boxing world by storm. Fans and fighters alike are sharing their thoughts. Crawford suggested a catchweight fight at 158 or 160 pounds, but Canelo quickly shut it down, saying he won't drop from his current weight of 168 pounds.
Bud could beat Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would beat Canelo.
While both fighters are the same height, 5'8", Crawford downplayed their size difference, pointing out they're just in different weight classes. Canelo has competed as high as 175 pounds, light heavyweight, while Crawford has mostly stayed in the welterweight division at 147 pounds.
The Canelo fight, you know, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. You know, I think business talk. You know, with the right business come across the table, you know, yeah, it happened. I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, you know? So that fight would be good.
Initially, Canelo wasn't too keen on fighting Crawford. But later, he became more open to the idea, saying he'd consider it if it made financial and reputational sense.
Terence Crawford's name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he's not in the plan.
He's not in the plan?
No.
Okay. Is there a specific reason for it? Is it because of his size, or it won't do anything for you in terms of pushing you toward your goals?
You know, like I say, if makes sense, maybe. I don't know right now. I just gonna enjoy this fight, and please let me enjoy this fight, and then you gonna know what is next for sure.
Crawford, in an interview on the Joe Rogan Experience, called a fight with Canelo the biggest of his career, and admitted that financial incentives are a major factor in his choice of opponents.
If it's what I want, you wanna take it, you know.
Would you put a rehydration clause in there?
I don't like to talk about other fight when I.
But you understand, like that's the fight that everyone wants to see. That's what the fans want to see you in there with.
Yeah, I understand that. Same happened with Golovkin.
Yeah, and it happened.
And same happened with
And it happened.
And same with Billy Johnson.
And it happened. I think it happened.
And with Troll, and with Mayweather, and with Cotto.
Canelo, Johnny Boy Boxing, Fight Hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean.
$100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
His enthusiasm for the matchup was palpable, likening it to the excitement he once felt about a potential fight with Manny Pacquiao. Speaking on Charlemagne the God's The Breakfast Club, Canelo praised Crawford as a great fighter, but stressed that the weight difference was significant. Even Charlemagne agreed the fight could be a massive spectacle. Still, Canelo seemed cautious, calling the matchup less thrilling since Crawford would be jumping 3 weight classes. He also hinted that the fight would be easy money for him, believing his size and Crawford's recent weight gain, 147 to 168 pounds, gave him a clear advantage.
Feeling like this isn't the best fight that could have been made, right? Folks wanted, obviously everybody wants you to fight Benavidez. and now there's conversation about Crawford. Crawford saying he wanted to fight you. Everybody wants to fight you.
Yeah.
Now, I saw at the end of the Crawford fight, the how they call him, the Excellency, Turkey, his Excellency, the Sheik said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford.
Fine.
Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, comes down.
That'll work. And so if yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, you know, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I mean, why not?
How you think he did at that weight, at 154? How you think Crawford did?
You know, they are a weight class for a reason, and you need to ask him. It's different. I know in his mind he think he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like how he fight. That's why there are weight classes.
Yeah,
and he knows now.
He knows now. You think he felt that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I would dare ask you if, I know with the Benavides question, you get asked this all the time. I almost hate asking you, but you know, if someone's willing to put up the 250 million,
I mean,
would you negotiate down?
No less than 200.
No less than 200.
Ooh.
All right, let's get 200. You're not me from the room. This is the money. But you deserve it.
I deserve it. Look,
yes.
They always asking for a fight. Golovkin, Trout, Mayweather, Cotto, Callum Smith, there is Landy Lara, Elio Saunders, Kylo Plan, and I fought everybody. And now I can do whatever I want. I deserve it.
Yeah.
However, this comment has drawn mixed reactions, with some seeing it as confidence, while others think it might be Canelo underestimating Crawford's abilities.
Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
You know, everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. You know, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
This statement sparked mixed reactions. Some saw it as confidence, while others felt Canelo might be underestimating Crawford's abilities.
Today, you know what makes the elite the elite? A lot of them chase money. Terence, he chased greatness.
Yeah.
And I think Canelo chases greatness.
Yeah.
So they're not going to cheat us like Charlo cheated us last night.
Fans respect both fighters for constantly striving for greatness. Unlike some past bouts that disappointed, a clash between Canelo and Crawford is expected to live up to the hype.
I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. And
you was back further than me.
Yeah.
I wasn't back that far, but you was back.
Damn, how far was you? He's all the way up there?
Yeah, I was in the nosebleed. No, I was like,
no, you get money. You got
but I'm
he was comfy where he was at. He was comfy.
But I'm saying, I don't know. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches.
That's the only thing I worry about.
So how can you, a man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Popular boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult shared his take, praising Crawford's immense talent, but arguing that he'd need significantly more experience to handle someone like...
If he were to accomplish that and beat Canelo Alvarez, become 3-time undisputed, is that top 10 greatest fighter to ever live? Like, that is incredible. Like, I don't think people, it's not like just becoming 3-time undisputed. You did that on your way. You beat destroyed Errol Spence, and then if you were to beat Canelo Alvarez, that is, brother.
This perspective highlights the contrast in their career paths. Canelo has faced heavier, more physical opponents, gaining experience Crawford hasn't yet matched.
That was my motivation fight. You know, it's crazy and it makes me laugh with all the antics that Canelo is doing and saying in the media and whatnot about the size and he won't get no credit and all this type of things. But Canelo been fighting smaller guys his whole career. Canelo been making his own catch weight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a smaller Amir Khan.
He did at 155.
Amir Khan. You know, he fought Jamel Charlo, and I'm pretty sure he didn't make as much money, all those guys except Mayweather, even Berlanga right now, that he will with me. But yet and still, you know, he have all these excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him.
Crawford, however, has suggested that Canelo might be making excuses to dodge the fight, worried a loss would tarnish his legacy. He firmly believes he poses a real threat despite the weight gap.
Because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, you know, he got that in the back of his head. You know, this guy, for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer. He moves. He can punch. He can do it all. I can't slip up and lose to this little guy. Then what will my fans think of me? What will my Mexican people think of me? So, you know, it's a big risk for him. Like he said, he don't get nothing out of it, but he does get a lot of it out of it. You know, none of those guys was pound for pound best fighter in the world that he fought when it was coming up in weight. None of those guys. You know, he wasn't getting the amount of money threw at him guaranteed for those guys that he's getting with me. So it just goes to show, you know, the level of respect. I look at it as respect that he give me. I don't look at it as disrespect. I look at it as the level of respect that, you know, he think of me as a fighter.
Terence, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this then, man. If Canelo was the main motivation going forward at almost 37, and you're still on top of your game, you're still, you know, arguably #1 pound for pound, but I know you're close with Andre Ward. He left the game on top, undefeated, #1 pound for pound. If Canelo isn't going to take the fight, is that something you're starting to think about, walking away from the game undefeated?
Crawford insists his skills and strategy would outweigh the size difference, making him a dangerous challenger.
If this is your hardest fight of your career,
I mean, like, bro,
that's crazy.
This is his first fight in that division and shit. You know, I'm pretty sure.
It's over with, bro.
Bro, I'm pretty sure he gonna get better, but it ain't like he got whooped or nothing like that.
Nah,
but
he's not ready for no Canelo. That's what I'm saying.
Expected a lot more. I mean, shit, bro. I was having this conversation last night with the people I was watching the fight.
He was looking slow. Terence Crawford looking slow. The scorecard was fucking off, bro. The scorecard was off. I was salty.
Nah.
That shit was closer than what they said it was.
Terence was motherfucking like Terence was bopping on it. We just used to seeing a different level of power.
Nah, the bopping on Terence.
Terence was getting caught with a lot of
and that's points.
Hey, but
that they didn't add up.
Hey,
that's points, bro.
Hey, but
that's points that didn't add up, bro.
Hey, but now like Terence was getting off more power shots and more combinations. Like that nigga was hitting it with combos. Like dude was getting nice shots in.
Many boxing analysts argue that while Crawford is undeniably talented, jumping 3 weight classes so quickly might compromise his performance, especially against a seasoned, larger opponent like Canelo.
Massive breaking news in the world of combat sports, more specifically boxing, as Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is apparently in the works and nearly finalised. If this fight happens, boxing's back. It's back. And people will say it's been back, but I think this would solidify that boxing fights, the best versus the best, happens on a consistent basis now. Like, we used to get a few good fights every year, but for the past 2 years and year and a half, boxing's been delivering. What a fight this would be. This is really hard to call. Terence Crawford is the slightly longer man in this fight. They both stand at the same height. He's a much more varied boxer in that he can do much more than Canelo, but Canelo's got a great guard, a great counter puncher. I would say he would have done much better when he was much more of a combination puncher, as opposed to now where he does a lot of one-shot counters, because I think Crawford's going to be able to make him react big a lot and counter him a lot. Canelo traditionally doesn't do well against southpaws, or as well against southpaws, should I say, so I think Crawford's going to fight the majority of this fight in southpaw too. Difficult fight for Crawford. He's daring to be great here, and Canelo is taking a big risk giving him the opportunity. Let's see who comes out on top in this one. Let me know your predictions for this fight.
Still, fans supporting the matchup see it as a battle between two of boxing's greatest, regardless of weight class. Both fighters have achieved undisputed status in multiple divisions, and this fight could settle the pound-for-pound debate once and for all.
Oh my God, we just got some absolutely absurd boxing news breaking. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, targeted for December or January in the United States. Oh my God. I'm not even lying when I say this is literally one of the biggest combat sports fights of all time. And as I said earlier, it's targeted in December or January. So the build-up to this fight is going to be incredible. The fact that it's in the United States is insane. Saudi Arabia has low-key saved boxing. This is an absolutely mega fight. I was not expecting this at 1 in the afternoon, but here we are. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, targeted for December/January in the United States. Crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and click that follow button for more combat sports videos. Wow.
With both fighters' reputations, this potential showdown is seen as a historic event, and possibly one of the greatest fights of our time.
Saul Canelo Alvarez is being targeted to fight Terence Bud Crawford in December or January by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, I'm assuming in Saudi Arabia. Is Canelo willing to go to Saudi? Probably not. If the money is good, Canelo will do this fight. This fight benefits him in no way, so the money's gonna have to be tremendous. Now, Bud Crawford, on the other hand, he'll do this fight for $10 million. Hell, Bud Crawford might do this fight for $5 million. But Canelo Alvarez, you're gonna have to pay him a good $100 million. I mean, not bluffing. And Saudi, as great as Saudi is, and as many fighters Saudi has brought in, they're still missing the face of boxing. They're still missing Canelo Alvarez. Is this fight going to happen? I would say no. Canelo's on a very strict schedule of Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day, which doesn't align with December or January. He's going to do Edgar Berlanga, Jamal Charlo, or David Benavidez in September. I don't see this fight happening. If the fight does happen, Don Judah, you could feel me on this one, Bud Crawford's going to get stopped. There's nothing Bud Crawford could do to keep Canelo off of him. You could dip Canelo in butter, smother him in butter, melt him in butter. Bud Crawford still wouldn't be able to keep Canelo Alvarez up off of him. Don't get me wrong, Bud Crawford's great. Arguably #1 pound for pound. Skill for skill, I think Crawford's a lot better than Canelo. But that's at welterweight. He's the most athletic welterweight. He's the strongest welterweight. At super middleweight, whole different conversation. Canelo stops Terence Crawford if they do happen to fight. I don't believe they will.
Adding to the uncertainty is the likely rematch between Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., which could take priority before this mega fight can happen.
So I kind of have a bit of an update on Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. Canelo Alvarez spoke out on the potential future matchup between the two pound-for-pound stars earlier today. What do you have to say about it? Let's take a look at it. Canelo Alvarez asked why he believes Terence Crawford is an easy fight for him. Canelo said, and I quote, "You know, what we saw in the last fight with him versus Israel Madrimov. I think that's why there are weight classes. That's what I think. It's an easy fight for the bottom. I do believe he's higher on the pound for pound." stylistically, I do believe Terence Crawford presents a lot of issues for Canelo Alvarez at 154, at 147, not at 168. At 168, all those skills just get outweighed by the physical attributes of Canelo Alvarez. And it's not a good fight in my opinion. I think the fight will happen. Canelo Alvarez is still open to the fight taking place. I think he's going to whoop Terence Crawford from bell to bell, rope to rope. I believe it'll be one of the most disappointing fights of the decade in my opinion. He's going to get no credit, just like the Charlo fight. You guys are begging for it. A lot of you guys are going to be disappointed, man. Cabron is going to beat the shit out of Terence Crawford in my opinion.
Enjoyed this breakdown? Don't forget to check out more of our videos on the screen.